The November 2025 dinar surge, separating speculation from reality in the RV conversation as we move deeper into November 2025. Something unusual is unfolding across the global Iraqi dinar community. A wave of online discussion, far larger and far more intense than anything seen in recent years, is sweeping through forums, Telegram groups, YouTube channels, and financial speculation circles. Conversations are heating up, tensions are rising, and millions of dinar holders are witnessing a sudden resurgence of terminology that has historically signaled moments of heightened expectation. Words and phrases that once lived quietly in niche corners of the internet have suddenly burst into the mainstream of the dinar dialogue. Expressions such as activation, third RV phase, and the even more mysterious Tier 4B exchange centers are dominating the conversation. For many observers, this rapid increase in chatter feels like a turning point. But for others, it feels like just another chapter in a long cycle of rumor and reaction. What is clear, undeniably clear, is that this moment has captured the attention of the entire dinar community in a way that few previous moments have. And with attention comes both excitement and confusion. This comprehensive analysis takes a deep, steady look at what is being claimed, what these terms mean, how they align or don't align with publicly available data, and what all of this could realistically signify for the future of the Iraqi dinar. Understanding the foundations of the dinar narrative to understand the current surge of excitement, it's essential to revisit the broader story behind the Iraqi dinar. For more than a decade, the dinar has been the cornerstone of one of the most persistent currency speculation narratives on the planet. The central idea is straightforward. At some point, Iraq's currency could experience a revaluation, often abbreviated as RV, a significant, deliberate upward adjustment of the dinar's official value relative to global currencies such as the US dollar. The speculation rests on a long-standing belief that Iraq's vast oil wealth, expanding energy infrastructure, reconstruction efforts, and future economic potential could justify a much stronger currency than the artificially low exchange rate that has been maintained since the early 2000s. This belief has created one of the largest and most active global speculation communities in modern history. People from every continent hold Iraqi dinar. Many have been waiting, analyzing, and preparing for years for the possibility of a major shift. Now, in late 2025, the conversation is boiling once again, this time driven by new claims and revived narratives. The catalyst. Claims of Phase 3 activation. The center of this latest wave of speculation is the claim that Iraq has entered the third phase of the alleged revaluation process. This terminology is not official. It does not appear in any publications, statements, or releases from the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, or the Iraqi government. Instead, it is part of a community-driven narrative that attempts to categorize the speculative RV process into distinct stages. Yet this narrative has become so widespread and so deeply believed that many treat it as fact. Here is how the three-phase storyline is typically presented within the community. Phase 1. Preparation. This stage is described as the long-term technical and logistical groundwork. According to the narrative, this would have involved upgrading banking systems, preparing digital infrastructure, coordinating international compliance, ensuring Iraq can function within global financial networks. It is often portrayed as years of behind-the-scenes setup. Phase 2. Stabilization and testing. In this stage, Iraq supposedly worked to stabilize the dinar, domestically manage inflation, test internal banking processes, strengthen economic controls. Though, again, none of this labeling is official. Many believe this phase was about validating readiness before making anything external or international. Phase 3, activation. This is the phase currently being discussed, and it is described as the moment when the process becomes externally visible. In this narrative, Phase 3 marks the transition from preparation to execution. This is where the talk of Tier 4B exchange centers becomes central. What are Tier 4B exchange centers? Few terms create more confusion or excitement than Tier 4B. The tier concept refers to a hierarchy of access groups that allegedly would exchange dinar at new rates in staggered phases. While definitions vary, the general understanding looks like this. Tier 1. Large sovereign entities, governments. Tier 2. Major banks and institutional players. Tier 3. Groups and organizations. Tier 4. The public. Within Tier 4, there are two divisions. Tier 4A. The general public. Tier 4B. A select group of individuals and private holders who supposedly pre-registered or are part of certain groups in the current conversation. Tier 4B centers are rumored to be special locations, banks, secure facilities, or financial institutions, designated to handle early exchanges at new revalued rates. The claim circulating now is that the activation of Phase 3 means these centers are either 1. Already open, 2. Preparing to open, or 3. Ready to begin processing exchanges. However, this raises the most important question. Has any official authority confirmed the existence or activation of these centers? As of November 2025, no. There is no verified announcement from the Central Bank of Iraq, the Iraqi Ministry of Finance, major global banks, the IMF, or World Bank, any recognized regulatory body. Despite this, the reports continue to spread rapidly and passionately. Why the rumors persist? The hope and psychology behind the RV story. To anyone outside this community, the persistence of these rumors may seem unusual. But to those who have followed the dinar narrative for years, this surge follows a familiar pattern. The RV story is not just a financial speculation. It is, for many, a form of financial hope, a long-anticipated turning point, a moment that could drastically change personal circumstances. Some have held dinar for a decade or more. This emotional investment is why every new rumor spreads like wildfire. These narratives provide excitement, renewed optimism, and the belief that the long wait might soon be over. The psychology behind this is powerful. People want confirmation. They look for patterns. They search for signs. They interpret silence as meaning. They interpret small events as signals of larger movements. This is exactly why the phase activation theory and Tier 4B claims gain and regain momentum. What the public data actually shows to evaluate the current claims, we must turn to the only measurable reality: public economic data. The official exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar remains around 1,300 IQD per $1 USD. It has been remarkably stable throughout 2025. This stability is significant. It implies the CBI is intentionally maintaining control. There is no sudden upward pressure on the dinar. No major external forces are driving a dramatic shift. For a true, large-scale RV to occur, specifically the kind envisioned in speculative circles, there would almost certainly need to be public coordinated actions, such as government announcements, CBI press releases, IMF or World Bank commentary, currency policy, revisions, changes in market dynamics. None of these public indicators are present. This does not prove that nothing is happening privately, but it does show that public conditions remain stable, not transformative. The two competing interpretations in the community right now, two narratives dominate the conversation. 1. The believers. Phase 3 is real, and it's quiet on purpose. Supporters argue that major financial systems have already updated internally, banks are preparing behind closed doors, staff are being briefed, international settlements are being tested. Silence is intentional to prevent market disruption. They see recent activity, real or rumored, as puzzle pieces forming a coherent picture. For them, the increased chatter is not random. It is a sign of an orchestrated rollout nearing completion. 2. The skeptics. We've seen these rumors every year. The skeptical perspective is grounded in history. Almost identical rumors appear annually. Many claimed activations have come and gone. No major bank or government has confirmed anything. Signs often turn out to be routine banking. Updates. Skeptics warn that the dinar community has often been misled by misinterpretations, false alerts, exaggerations, scammers, circular rumor networks. For them, current chatter is simply the newest cycle in a long pattern. The truth, reality, likely lies somewhere in the middle. The most realistic interpretation is a balanced one. Iraq is indeed working on reforms. It is modernizing its banking system. Digital systems are being upgraded. Oil revenue is relatively strong. Foreign currency reserves are healthy. These developments could, over time, create the conditions for a stronger dinar. But that does not automatically mean an overnight RV, a massive rate jump. Secret exchange centers a three-phase activation plan. Real economic change takes time. It unfolds gradually, not in sudden dramatic leaps. What dinar watchers should actually be monitoring if you're serious about tracking the dinar's future, not the rumors, but the reality. Here are the 4 indicators that truly matter. 1. Official CBI or government announcements. This is the gold standard. If a revaluation were truly beginning, it would eventually require Public instructions, confirmed procedures, published exchange rates, no secret activation could bypass regulatory systems. 2. Interbank market movements before any major currency shift. The markets will show signs. Rate changes on credible global platforms, increased liquidity shifts in demand. This data cannot be faked and cannot remain hidden. 3. Iraq's oil output and reserves. The dinar's strength is tied to oil production. Global oil prices reserve growth. If reserves spike, Iraq gains leverage to adjust its currency. 4. Political and economic reforms. A strong currency emerges from stable governance, reduced corruption, stronger institutions, economic diversification. These reforms matter far more than rumor cycles. Would an RV ever be secret? The practical reality, one of the most common misconceptions in dinar speculation, is that a revaluation would occur in secret. In reality, a major currency change would be public, announced, documented, reported, globally reflected across all financial systems. Instantly, banks cannot legally exchange currency at new rates without publicly verifiable directives and compliance documentation. A global currency shift, especially one of this magnitude, cannot happen in the shadows. The most likely scenario: gradual appreciation, not overnight. RV Many economists believe Iraq's path toward a stronger currency will look like this. Slow adjustments, controlled increases, step-by-step reforms, stability-focused policy, changes, a measured approach. Attracts investment, prevents market shock, builds international confidence, strengthens long-term economic health. A sudden overnight RV, even if possible, would risk financial instability, capital flight, shockwaves through the region. Therefore, a gradual rise is far more realistic than a massive one-day jump. The importance of risk management in a rumor-driven environment. The dinar market has a long history of scams, counterfeit notes, fraudulent priority lists, fake exchange appointments, insider claims with no evidence. It is critical to remember, legitimate exchanges will only occur through regulated financial institutions, not through private emails, secret meetings, paid groups, anonymous tips. Unverified insiders. Protecting your financial and personal information is essential. If an offer sounds too good to be true, it almost certainly is. Conclusion: stay informed, stay balanced, stay grounded. As of November 2025, the dinar community is experiencing one of its most energetic and rumor-filled periods in years. The claims of Phase 3 activation and Tier 4B exchanges have generated intense hope and intense debate. But excitement does not equal evidence. The reality remains: there is no official confirmation of an RV, no verified Tier 4B exchange centers, no CBI announcements, no institutional confirmation. Iraq's economy is improving, but slowly. Its banking system is modernizing, but gradually. Its currency may strengthen, but over time, not overnight. The best approach today is the same approach that has always been wise. Be hopeful, but stay grounded. Be aware, but not naive. Watch the data, not the rumors, and wait for real evidence, not speculation. The dinar story is long, complex, and still evolving. November 2025 may be a significant moment, or it may be another chapter in a much longer journey. Only time and verifiable information will tell. Disclaimer: the information provided on Iraqi Dinar News Today is for educational and informational purposes only. We do not provide financial, investment, or trading advice. All content shared on this channel is based on publicly available data and personal opinions. Viewers are advised to do their own research and consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Iraqi Dinar News Today is not affiliated with any government agency, bank, or financial institution.